Hi Pisces, this is Mary Ellen, coming to you from Moonrise Cottage once again for your December 2017 Soul Tarot reading. I'm really thrilled to be here with you as always. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm very happy to have you here. I'm a clairvoyant person and I use the cards to help channel messages that stream through to me about the situation that each astrological set point is experiencing as they walk across the planet. So before I jump in, just a reminder, if you'd like a personal reading, any kind of a consultation, there's some information coming through. I'm going to change it up. In January, I'm going to be able to have the time to add some new services. So Spirit's talking in my ear about that. I do have the capacity and the ability to do distance healing. I have started that with one of my subscribers. And if you're interested in that, let me know. I probably won't start in earnest until January, just because I'm going to travel and there's Spirit's talking. So I guess the message is just let people know. If you want that information about how to contact me, how to schedule a reading, or any kind of consultation, click on the words "Show More" in the description box below the video. If you have not signed up for live stream events, I'm encouraging you to do so. There will be a very special live stream event on the 9th of December, a special reading channeled in from Spirit using the cards about the solstice and about what has transpired over the course of 2017, and I assume going forward into next year, sort of preparing us for the new year, Spirit saying, as the new year dawns. Okay? So for anybody who's returning, welcome back. And if you've been donating funds to the channel and supporting me in my work, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It does make a huge difference, just so you know. So Pisces, like all the signs, you've had an amazing journey this year. And I'm eager to share with you the cards that have been coming through. I want to show you the first card and then we'll look at it. All right, let me just toggle back to the photo display. As I've started live streaming, this is how I need to do it until I think I can add another camera. But for now, it has changed up a little bit. So there's the first card. That is the theme. That is the message from Spirit about your walk this month. And Spirit saying, and through 2017, to this destination. And from this destination, there's a discussion that Spirit would like to have with you. If you don't know, and you haven't seen the prior videos, please make sure to look at the videos for September, October, and November, Spirit is saying. And if you really want full reference, you can go to the playlist on my channel about the eclipses. It will help you understand this visual image and all that it stands for, Spirit says. So behind that beautiful being, the warrior of art, stands the sacred tomb at Newgrange in the Boyne Valley in Ireland. I encourage you to look it up online. I don't have time today to go into that. It is a sacred passage tomb, and I took a journey there earlier in the fall, and some readings did come from the passage tombs. Pisces, your particular reading that came out of the passage tomb has been reverberating since those moments, Spirit says, and comes to you as you approach the solstice. And if you look at the golden pathway that Spirit saying illuminates the pathway to and from the passage tomb, that's the message from Spirit. How did you go through this journey? How did you arrive here? And when the solstice comes and the sun illuminates the opening, which happens every year over the course of, I think, between 4 and 6 days, depending on cloud cover, etc. But energetically, whether the sun can be seen or not, another sort of portal, a passage, if you will, does open. This is the place in which your energy stands, and the way in which you embody it, that is the beautiful warrior of art. Completely transformed, staying in this beautiful sacred place. Having arisen from there, in this moment, through this journey, using your skill, your transformation, the magic that has been imbued into you, according to Spirit. It is about transformation and ability to manifest that which is internal to you and have it appear in the external world. So, we see the doves, that's about purity of intention, of energy, of thought, having come through the passage tomb. And Spirit's talking about the sacred spiral of life, of death, of rebirth in these days when this last and final portal of 2017 approaches. And Spirit's talking about the cycles of the moon as well, so we'll get to that as the cards come out. So this is the theme that Spirit wants to speak about, and is also saying the aspect with which you walk. Okay, so I'm going to toggle back, and I want to show you this in context with your particular energy. If that's the light and the message from Spirit, this is how it affects you and how you walk in it, so to speak. That is a major arcana card. It is the beautiful renewer. It is the second to the last major arcana of the deck. And in it we see this idea of the sacred cauldron and healing. This is about entering the sacred bowl of rebirth. And it's interesting, given that we see you standing next to the passage tomb. So inside the passage tombs, if you haven't seen those readings, there are ceremonial altar bowls into which the remains of those who had passed away were placed to await the solstice, so that they could pass from this realm into the next phase of their journey as a spirit being. And so Spirit is saying that is the fullness of the message for you. You have been through this year, all the shift and change. This is where you have been resting, ultimately inside the ceremonial bowl that is about renewing your devotion. So let me show you the card. Whoops, sorry. Meant to show you my happy face. Here we come. All right, there it is. The renewer of devotion. That is the triple goddess. These are elderflowers that were used for eons for healing. And this vessel actually does exist. It is the sacred cauldron that was discovered in a bog. There are a lot of sacred carvings about the cycle of life and the mystical things that the Celtic people across Europe and especially in Ireland did believe in. You can Google this. It was found in Gundestrup in, I think now I'm having a brain cramp. I think it was in a bog in Denmark. Spirit's saying, go and look it up. There's information there for you to help you understand. So again, the fact that these readings came out and that I was sent to these passage tombs and the messages continue to come from there, and this message of the sacred cauldron into which your soul was placed and has been resting for the entirety of 2017 in order to have this type of passage on the solstice. You have been prepared and you are waiting for the next days to unfold in order to experience the complete renewal of your soul journey and your human walk. And therefore, Spirit says, the nature of your devotion, having been transformed and coming home to its rightful place through this transformational journey. So I'm going to toggle back. I want you to see them together again because it's really beautiful. Very impactful, Spirit says. And wanting to give you a chance to just gaze into the image so that you can understand the depth of the transition through which you have come to await this moment inside the sacred ceremonial bowl in the passage tomb for the solstice to arrive. And Pisces, you and I know, those who've been following along, you've been through a very deep, very profound shift and change, coming into alignment with your own nature as a Pisces, the depth of yourself, Spirit says. And there you rest. That is the central theme of this reading. And you won't be surprised when you see the cards that are coming out. So I'm going to show you. There's your human walk. This is the aspect in which and with which you walk toward the moments of the solstice. And Spirit's saying, if you look above at the center theme, your aspect, your soul, your intentions, your love, residing in this beautiful, sacred, ceremonial bowl in order to have a soul healing and arising from that place to the right in the center line, that is how you will stand in your place after the solstice. And it is a depiction of the soul having passed through that place. In a way, although there will be some discussion and cards coming out, that's the reading, Spirit says. That is the theme of this reading. And everything else to follow is going to be a description of that journey. And certainly, if you look at the bottom row of cards, you are seeing it. It's profoundly beautiful. You've seen some of these cards. The first card on the bottom left, that is the courtship of knowledge. And so again, acknowledging where you have come, what your human walk has been like this year, being in a form of sacred courtship with the spirit realm in order to take this journey. Spirit says, the notion of courtship is about a process, undertaking a process in order to get to know things that you have an interest in. And, bathe in this beautiful golden light. Whatever you want to call those apparent deities, angels, gods and goddesses, Spirit always says it doesn't matter. As long as you have the ability to look into the image and feel the impact and understand how it affects you and how it represents your energy and the movement it is making and has made through 2017. So Spirit's saying, when the first set of eclipses came, this is the process that was unfolding throughout the year. It has been a courtship with the spiritual knowledge that you carry inside of yourself because you are a Pisces. And your beautiful set point. It's really, truly profound and beautiful. So let me transition back because Spirit wants me to give you a lot of opportunity to look into the cards as they unfold together to illustrate the pathway you've been on and the purpose, of course, of this journey. So there's the very next card on the human realm. That's a prophecy about new skills. And again, to see the blue trousers, that indicates transformation. And here you sit in this youthful way, something new. And you have the ability now to send out into the world in which you walk this beautiful energy vibration, your intentions to create the type of world you seek to reside in, Spirit says. It's really beautiful and completely open at the heart and will center. It's really beautiful. Sitting in this lush green place. And that is the place into which you have arrived as we approach the solstice. You have this ability already. And the ability that this brings to you brings a new life, as you know, as has all the transformation that's taken place over the course of the year. So going forward, your ability to send out your vibration into the world around you to create something new has been heightened in a way that is extraordinary. And that process, as we see with the two cards above, has brought to you this, Spirit's talking about reincarnation. And certainly this last card speaks very greatly to that, at least visually. So this card, Spirit's saying, the most important part in this moment is the revelation. What is going to be revealed to you as you make this transition in a soul journey type of way through to the other side, coming back to this place to stand in this way. Very strong, very wise, and again, a notation about the solstice and your soul standing in the light of the sun when it arises on that day. And I'm going to toggle back because I want you to see it in context. Look at the card that stands just above this. That is the theme for the entire reading. And so it is being reflected in this way in your human walk. You are going to be aligned with the directly and have a direct revelation and a direct, Spirit says, experience of yourself as a spirit being in the days of the solstice. The 4 or 5 days, Spirit says up to a week around the date of the solstice. So, set aside some time for yourself. And I've been saying it for, I think, a couple of months now. If you have the capacity to have some quiet time, even if it's just to be in your room or in the kitchen while you're cooking a meal, take a bath, light a candle, anything that you can do in your own life in a very simple but meaningful way. Spirit says, just go ahead and do it. It doesn't have to have a lot of fanfare attached to it. However, it's important to acknowledge for yourself the intensity. Spirit's talking about the realness of these moments, and it's truly profound. I want to show you next the bridge card. Just a moment. Let me just find the photo and pull it up. All right. So, Pisces, look at that. I'm really filled with awe at the depth of your spirit presence. That card in the center row on the far left is traditionally known, in the style of my readings, as the bridge card. That place into which your energy arrives through your human walk to bridge your ability to understand and experience the spirit realm, if you will, about your own nature and the place into which you evolve as your existence here mirrors the intention in the heavens, if you will. So that is the final card in the major arcana of this particular deck. It is the perfecter of energy. And if you look at it together, Spirit says, with each card that's in that center row and how it reflects what is happening below, you will understand yourself in the way, that Spirit intends for you this month, to have an acute awareness of the reality of your spirit being that inhabits your physical form. And Spirit saying, and that is what the courtship of knowledge has been about, in order to bring you to this understanding so that you can live in this world and affect the outcomes and send your energy into the world with this knowledge that you have been developing, that is being revealed to you in the days of the solstice. And Spirit wants me to, before I show you that card, Spirit wants me to show you this card once again, just to sort of drive home that. Revelation. The revelation of knowledge. Having been in courtship with the sacred knowledge, now being revealed to you on the day of the solstice. It's really beautiful. Truly, let me just toggle back so again you can see these in relation to each other, and then I will show you the card, okay? Check it out. Look at that. The perfecter of energy. To see the triple spiral at the root chakra, and water, the essence of life, the essence of abundance. And again, that bowl actually looks very much like the ceremonial bowls that are in the altars inside the passage tombs in Newgrange and Nouth and Douth and all the places into which I traveled. There is the breastplate indicating the passage of a year and the shift and change. And do you notice the swastikas on that breastplate? I was talking last month about the sacred swastika and the meaning of life energy, the meaning of the spirit energy here on the earth. This was a very sacred symbol going back many eons before it was utilized by the Nazi regime. It was a sacred cycle about energy, about this, actually, the spiral, the movement and the opening of the crown chakra through the activation of the pineal gland. This is the destination, Spirit says, the bridge that you have been in concert with. It's an interesting way to phrase it, with all the tools you need coming through the year, all the shift and change to perfect your energy in this moment. And again, let me toggle back. Do you see that? It through the courtship of knowledge that sits just below it, and the shift and change in the movement, the journey, Spirit says, that you have had. Perfecting your energy just in time for the moment of the solstice to dawn, in order to prepare us to go forward from these moments into 2018 and closer to the dawning of the age of Aquarius. It's an incredibly beautiful movement. So let's take a look for a few minutes at the spirit cards, the spirit walk. I'm going to show you the spread, and then we'll go through them one by one. That first card on the top left is the Woman of Battle. And what is significant about this card in this placement is that having been transformed, if you look at the card on the bottom right, the revelation of knowledge, having been through this particular journey, and the Warrior of Art coming on the top of this reading, here you stand. Look at that left vertical row, coming through the courtship of knowledge in order to perfect your energy. It is a reflection of your human stance, Spirit says. Do you remember you've been through this beautiful sacred transformation and initiation, and I think we may have talked about this. There she is with the amulet she received at her initiation, standing as a spiritual warrior in her place, prepared. And you see how open her hand is, awaiting to receive and activate the gifts that are within her now. You see that? That's what Spirit's talking about. That's why this card came out on top. And also the other thing is, look, it is, again, the yin and yang, the blending of male and female energy. The male and female spiritual warrior, standing with power in your hand, open and ready. And sorry, wrong way. This woman is often the first one into the gap. That's kind of her claim to fame. She's been through her process, and she stands ready, looking forward with sacred vision and preparing to jump in to the next phase of her growth and development. It's truly, truly beautiful. I love this card. All right, so let's toggle back so you can see the next progression. And Pisces, we've seen this card before. This is the beautiful quest of art. That is, although you have come to this moment before, going through the solstice, going through that passage, this is going to be that, Spirit says, that which captures your attention in the days going forward. This beautiful quest of art. And there you are. Is there any doubt? That is your being, Pisces. That is how you experience yourself. We know that together. You know that as an individual. The art, the spiritual being. Coming to this place of incredible discovery. Having been on this journey, Spirit says, if you look into this image and you can imagine the story, walking through the beautiful natural world and coming to this place beside the water. You pull aside the fronds and you find a magical scene, a mystical place. This is the quest of art that you have been on, to recapture yourself and be able to see yourself as you actually reside, your spirit being residing in this human form, and now being able to see it and understand it and possess it for yourself, Spirit says, coming through the portal of the solstice and being ready, becoming ready to stand in this place with this deep awareness of yourself after the solstice as you finish the year. Let me toggle back so you can see. The King of Knowledge. Okay, so Spirit wants me to show this to you in a particular way as it has come out through the reading. All right, so sometimes Spirit asks me to do this. Let me show you. So there's the King of Knowledge. Of course, you have risen to the top of your game, so to speak. And again, isn't it beautiful that the blue and green is reflected in this card, having seen the quest of art just prior to it? So there you are, in a stable place with your wisdom and your knowledge that brings abundance and security to you as you sit in your place, emanating from within yourself. So, Spirit wants to remind you, there you are, okay? The courtship of knowledge started you on this journey, and you have risen to the top, Spirit keeps saying, the top of your game, straight to the King of Knowledge, having come through this year and all the shift and change, okay? So, starting with that courtship, now these things have been revealed and will continue to be revealed to you in the days of December, and most especially the days of the solstice. So do prepare yourself. Spirit's talking about this is how you will experience yourself in the human realm. It will feel like this in a sense. Isn't that interesting, that image? Standing really strong, having been transformed. And Spirit says, again, in the background, a body of water, having traversed the beautiful ocean of existence into your deepest form of wisdom and strength. Standing, Spirit saying, standing on the firmament meaning your spirit standing inside of your form, standing here on the earth, having been perfected because of the awareness that has come to you through this journey, activating your pineal gland in order to prepare for the coming solstice. This is how you reside, having come through those days in December. Truly beautiful. Let's toggle back so you can see it. Again, in context, before we take a look at the outcome card, Spirit wants you to just take a moment to look into the cards and see yourself and acknowledge your being, your spirit being and your earthly being, and how they reflect each other. And think about the coming solstice. And again, Spirit's referencing the very center card, that center row. Having been experiencing your soul, resting in the sacred cauldron of renewal, in order to have your devotion to your spirit walk strengthened and renewed, and shift and change, flanked on either side by the perfection of your energy and the beautiful warrior of art who has passed through the sacred passage tomb in order to reemerge and stand in that way. And the cards above and below reflect the journey. But that is the central message. And when you see the outcome, you will understand the perfection of this journey. Okay, so I'm going to toggle over. I'm going to show you. There it is. Look at that. Again, Spirit wants to reference the center line so that you can understand the depth of this journey and the repetition of the message about the solstice and the extreme importance for you as a spirit being and as a human being walking across this adventure with the courtship of this sacred knowledge of yourself and how much you now have the ability to send out into the world that which you are because of what has been revealed to you through the perfection of your energy along this journey of healing and revelation and questing the art of coming to the discovery of your true spirit nature, capturing yourself and becoming the king of knowledge in your own place, and going through the solstice. The outcome card as you approach those days and the end of 2017 is the Liberator. I don't, I couldn't have thought anything better for you. And as I was doing the shuffle, I was wondering, what's it going to be this month? Look at that. Spirit's talking about the altar bowl, talking about the passage tombs, talking about the spirit realm carrying your soul. That's what that depiction means. That is a sacred shaman carrying the soul across the divide. Look at that, Pisces. Suspended deep in the universe, the places in which we travel to and from. This actually, so in a sense, indicating the sacred Shila Nagi, the feminine energy, the place from which we arrive into this spirit journey here on the earth. And in context, I'm going to toggle back because I want to speak about it while you're looking at the cards. In context with the card directly to the left, that's a profound message. So in a sense, as Spirit was saying in the beginning, the cards in the top row, the cards in the bottom row, illustrating and describing adjectives, Spirit says, about your journey. But the center row is really the message for 2017. Having come to these moments through all of this revelation, shift and change, and this prophecy about going forward in a new way, a type of reincarnation while you're standing here on the earth in a very sacred way, the way it has been meant for you to proceed according to Spirit. So if you look at that center row, Spirit says you will understand that having come through the year and approaching now the solstice, once you come through the solstice and you come out of the passage tomb by riding the energy wave of the days of the solstice, then once again your devotion will be liberated and you will come through to another place unseen prior to these moments. And Spirit's talking about what will dawn in 2018 and how you will be. Spirit just says, and how you will be in those days, having made this incredible shift and change and being completely devoted to yourself and to your spirit initiatives. Spirit is what's coming, the word that's coming through, because you have been to the passage and back. And that is what that outcome card indicates. It is sacred feminine energy of creation standing directly next to the sacred male companion, birth and death, in all of the sacred knowledge that is meant to be attached to that and understood by us as human beings, here to have this beautiful spiritual awakening in order to continue our soul journey. So Pisces, goodness, as I always say, I could talk for about 3 more hours about this. I'm not going to do that to you this month. I know everybody's busy, but I am just wishing you a wonderful month, a wonderful solstice event, and a fabulous new year. And however it is that you celebrate your holiday season, I hope that you will, what's coming through from Spirit, and from me, you can tell my voice is cracking, that you give yourself the moments of awareness, I'm going to toggle back. Spirit wants me to show you the picture. The moments of awareness that have to do with this message. And it can be little tiny moments. Spirit says, feel free to share with others the experience you have had, because that is part of what is intended to be illuminated as you move through this passage. It's not required of you, but if you feel as though you have trusted others that you would like to speak to about this shift and change, I believe that's part of a sort of a precursor message for 2018 about going forward and being able and being prepared to speak about the places in which we experience ourselves and how that affects our lives as we step through our day-to-day. So Pisces, have a wonderful month. Have a lovely holiday season. I'll be looking forward to hopefully seeing many of you on the live stream event on the 9th of December. I haven't decided the time. I think it's going to be evening so that those folks, and I'm in the States, so there are people who want to chime in, who want to tune in that are in India and Australia and New Zealand. I'm trying to make it possible for all those folks across the globe to be able to be present. So it'll be on a Saturday. I believe it'll be around 9 o'clock in the evening. If you haven't signed up for live stream, this would be the moment to do that. Click on the Show More button on the tab. All the information you need is there. So all my love and hugs. Pisces, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to speaking with you on the day of the solstice and in the new year. Thank you. I'll leave you with the cards.